There we go.
Smooth as always. All right, legends. Gather in. We are here for a deep dive into what is going to be one of the state's premier running events, Diverge Skyruns for 2026. I'm here with your Run Director, Lincoln. We're going to go through all the courses tonight, have a little bit of chat about what they are, what's going on with them, what's going on for the weekend in Queenstown, and then we're going to take your questions. And looks like we've got a few people online. If you've got any questions you want us to answer, probably not myself, because this is the man who knows the course. But yeah, give us something in the messages there, and we'll get to you. So Lincoln, where do we start? There's plenty of events on for this weekend coming up at the start of May. Where do you want to start us off?
Well, I reckon let's just jump into a bit of a promo vid just to set the scene. Let us know where we're at. So here we go with some technology. I don't know who let me drive this, but let's press some buttons here and see how we go. So hopefully that's now showing our website. Here we go, promo. Try that again. It's only 30 seconds. Epic. Hopefully that actually set a scene and wasn't just a sea of black.
Yeah, let's hope so. If you haven't seen that before, it's got some pretty amazing in there, and that's just from the 5K event, most of that. No, I kid. That is further out on course. But Lincoln, let's start with Friday. We're all going to be up in Queenstown. We're going to arrive for this fabulous event, and we're going to start off with the Lynchford Express.
Absolutely.
Tell us about this one.
Yeah, well, just on that promo vid that hopefully did come through or is available on the landing page on our website, almost every part of that is on the courses. So we are in for a treat. But yeah, Lynchford Express, we're doing a road run. This is kind of unexpected, but the opportunity to work with the Wilderness Railway was just absolutely not to be missed. So if we sharing my screen now with this down to the course map, we start by getting the train. So in Queenstown itself, we jump on the train and then ride down the train line to, and I'm kind of following it just a little bit here with the cursor. You can see through some of the forest down to Lynchford Station. So Lynchford Station, jump off there, pop over, walk over the Queen River, Pumpkin Soup, and start here. So let's just see what it actually looks like or feels like a little bit from the Strava 3D fly-through. I bloody love these things.
It's amazing. It's such great technology. And I'm looking at the terrain here. This looks like it's an easier start to our Friday. Little shake out of the legs.
Yeah, it is a road run and you slow uphill. So the train is part of the competitors. So it'll be running at around 6-minute Ks. So this maybe sort of should be around mid-pack and gives these little toots. I can't actually do it, but it's quite a unique toot that you'll hear through the valley. Here, once we hit town, because road closure before that, once in town, jump onto the wide footpath so we don't have to close the entire road all the way through town. And just here, we'll get to the train tracks come right back next to the road, next to the footpath. So from there on, which is kind of halfway-ish, We're running side by side with the train all the way home. There's a pretty special little route through the station itself before finishing in the hub.
That's pretty epic. You'll be able to run beside the train and, give yourself some encouragement to beat it to get home.
Yep. So that's Friday Ave. Starts at, the first part of Friday Ave starts at big pickups from 1:30. Got to be on the train departing the station by 2:30. Perfect way to fly in on the Thursday if you're flying, and drive in nice and calmly Friday morning before having some lunch and jumping on the Lynchwood Express.
This flying in intrigues me. You're making me drive up. We'll jump on now, though. We'll jump on to the next event. And this one, I think, is really, really cool. This is something a little bit different for a running event, the QnA Rogaine. Now, I've had a bit of a look at this, and it seems to me that this is a bit of a way to get around, have a look at a bit of Queenstown on the Friday before you're up running in the mountains.
Absolutely. And I'm not going to go through much detail here. There's a bit of info on the website and also the festival booklet. They are the sole sources of truth. There's a couple of corrections to timings in there, which we are about to make this week. But how we've set it up is as a way for you guys to connect a bit with the town and for the town to see who all these runners and hikers are that don't already live there, because we only have around 5% locals registered at this point. Is this Rogaine. So what is it? You get a map. On it is a bunch of points, just like a Rogaine. You get to choose how many you want to go to, in what order. On the back of the map is like a clue sheet of, at this control, this is what you're looking for, a question to answer or something like that. Write it down on the back, and then the final checkpoint to get is at the Paragon Theatre, which is our indoor event hub, to then collect your bib for Saturday. So it is a what word have we used? It's a highly recommended, and picking up your bib on Friday, if you arrive in time, you do need to do this and get at least 3 points before heading out. The map is not released. You pick that up just like a Rogaine the day of.
Very, very cool event.
Yep.
It sounds like a lot of fun. So we do that one, and then of course we get ourselves fed up in Queenstown on Friday night, get some rest in, and then we were going to go into Saturday's events.
Yep.
And then we're going to start off there. Like, what are we doing for dinner on Friday night to fuel up ready for Saturday?
Absolutely. Well, it's almost sold out, so if you haven't, then jump on in. We're doing a couple of pre-booked pasta dinners, 2 sittings, one at 6, one at 6:30 at the Paragon. Gluten-free, lactose-free, vegan, I think, options in there. Need to book on our Diverge website. The bookings required by 24th of April. We're probably going to close that a little bit earlier. Opening ceremony. Then, some live screen. So many cool things.
There's so much going
on. Pop-up shop. Some of that's Saturday. Maps exhibition. Films Saturday. Getting a bit distracted here. What are we doing? Course?
Yeah, let's go to some courses.
Course, yeah.
We fed ourselves on Friday night. We've got the pastor on board. We're all fueled to go. Let's run through the Saturday courses.
Cool. Yeah, well, it helps if I was, we were just sharing, looking at some of the festival booklet, and I forgot to press a button. Sorry about that, to share that tab. Anyway, check out the festival booklet. It's a sole source of truth, etc. So the day starts with Mount Lyell Skyrun being the 50K.
Yep.
But maybe we start with the Little Owen trail. Just little in name, but it's not little in stature or experience.
Let's jump onto it. So the Little Owen, guys, this is the trail run or hike. It's 15 kilometres, 500 metres of elevation, and this is on Saturday morning. So if you don't want to take on the mountains, this might be the run for you. What has the Little Owen got for people?
So the Skyruns are pretty crazy, pretty gnarly. There's definitely exposure. There's a lot of mountains, alpine ridge lines, scrambling. It's the closest that I've been on in an event in Australia to what the extreme Skyruns have in Europe. So I think the Matterhorn Old Tracks Extreme course or Glencoe Skyline, not quite as crazy as some of that, but we know that the Skyruns are not for everyone. So we want to provide the trail runs as a way to still get up in the mountains, still have an epic time and feel the power of the mountains and the epic trails there, but not have the exposure, not have that kind of risk. So Little Owen is mainly on some of the mountain biking trails that they're so lucky to have built up there. And shall we check out the fly through, because that's pretty cool, and hopefully the fly throughs are coming through on the video. Okay, just need to, there we go, and press the button. So we start all of our runs, except for Lynchford, right bang in the middle of town. Oh, little funky thing there. So pretty much straight away, we are into some of the beautiful forest there, and then across a dam, and then so this first section is not on mountain bike trail. We've cleared a bunch of that. Some beautiful waterfalls in there and the like. Some other sort of what's it called, like fire trail sort of stuff, just to connect in with the mountain bike trails, which.
So this is more of your traditional trail running type terrain rather than the sky running, which is boulder jumping, scrambling across rocks, hands and feet.
Yep.
This is more the traditional get out, have a run, be in the beautiful nature and seeing wildlife and everything around you.
Yeah. And right here, if this is coming through, yeah, I think so, that's where we jump on the mountain bike trails. So these are, big machine built trails. Super runnable. We are on a climbing trail here, so still best kept secret of trail running. Don't have to run uphill, but for those who are fit enough, you can definitely run up this whole mountain bike trail here.
Will the trails be closed to the riders?
Yes, for the day.
Nice.
So it's definitely safe. You're not going to have any mountain bikes screaming down on you on this day. Where I've just paused at there, you're up onto what's called Welcome to Queenstown on top of the ridge, and as soon as you hit that, you get the epic views down into call it the Mount Owen Basin, or whatever you actually want to call it. But yeah, you get the epic views of Mount Owen and that whole basin all the way over to Horsetail Falls and the like. So we just keep playing here, following the climbing trail, mountain bike climbing trail, all the way up here. Again, some really epic views that keep developing as you keep going up. It's a bit of a climb, but you can run it all. I think it's 460 meters of elevation gain, and then heading back down again on the mountain bike trails on the descending trail, which is not particularly steep. So I'm sure some people have seen this number up here, the sneaky 13.3 kilometre number. As with the longer distances of trail running where, this is a 50K run and actually it's 52 or 54 or whatever it might be, we've applied the same approach, because when we released we're doing a 15K trail run, when we released that distance, the course wasn't finalised. So, the actual course for Little Owen turns out to be 13.3 for this year, and it might bump up to 16 next year and whatever. So it's going to bounce around sort of 15K.
And that coming back down on the mountain bike trails, that's going to be good fun. That's going to be great running. That's going to be open up the legs and away we go.
Yeah. And I should have said, once we flip to the downhill coming down Little Owen, so this whole ridge is Little Owen. You can then see down into the town. We can see that on the screen now. It's a bit lopsided, but there's the town of Queenstown. There's the airfield, which we go running on Sunday, and you can actually on a clear day see out to Ocean Beach and the the ocean out there. What's that one? It's not the Southern Ocean. Might be. Yeah.
Let's not go.
Whatever. Talking about trails, not oceans. All right.
Now, any mandatory gear required?
Yes, yep, 100%. The mandatory gear is very, very important for the alpines, for the Skyruns. We do have mandatory gear because you're still pretty remote out there on Little Owen. There isn't full drive access on a whole bunch of the course. So, yeah, mandatory gear is all on the website, Sole Source of Truth. Let's just look at that here. Mandatory gear is right there. There's no mandatory gear or very little to buy in Queenstown, so definitely have everything before you come and get it checked at Arc'teryx or Find Your Feet stores before then. Let's just finish off this fly through if you want.
Yeah.
So about there, we then hit the town effectively, some roads. Oh, what's that thing? Is that?
That looks like a gravel football over to me.
There we go. Might have to. Yeah, that is. Look at that. So. There will be a game being played on the day, so I think it's compulsory to give a cheer or something as we go through. But yeah, we'll be going around the oval, not through.
Now, before you jump off this one, I can see in the bottom right-hand corner there, register now. Still entries available.
Yep, we still have a bunch of entries open on this one. So Regos will close on the Wednesday, Thursday before, something like that. We're not planning to do any regos on the day for this. So, yeah, definitely get your entry in before that. It may sell out, but, might not. Skyruns are a different kettle of fish, though.
All right, speaking of Skyruns, let's jump, what do we said, a little outside our comfort zone.
Yeah. I just wondered, do we have any questions?
I couldn't see any at the moment. If you do have any questions, guys, feel free to just type them into the chat there. We'll jump into the live chat, see if there's anything in there.
A sea of black. Yes, that was hopefully just at the very start because we're kind of watching here. We can see there's some stuff going on there. We hope the sea of black was only for the promo video. Right, so Skyrun. Whoa. Yes, the warning is real. It is not for the faint of heart. You don't need technical rock climbing skills, but you do need to be comfortable and confident and competent at scrambling in the alpine with exposure. If you fall, you could fall a long way in certain circumstances, and none of us. So the elevation profile is up, and we've marked the sections that are not for the faint of heart in black. Like that's the whole.
That looks unbelievable. Like I was looking at this last night, and that is 500 or 600 meters climbing in about 3 kilometers.
It's pretty steep.
Yeah,
pretty steep, slippery in parts. As soon as you actually get onto the rock itself, it's pretty grippy. So let's actually, maybe we'll just show this one. Hopefully this is coming through. Yeah. Yes, we do have boulders. Yeah, it's coming through.
Sorry, this is on a running course.
Sky running.
Yeah, I mean, those views are.
And so this is conglomerate. It is the rock up high, and it's grippy when it's wet. There we go. Yeah, it's grippy when it's wet. But it's quite sharp. So gloves, gardening gloves, gloves that can handle a bit of abrasion is definitely worthwhile. Actually, geez, if we just, I'll show you, what. There we go. There we go.
Oh wow,
that's what it does to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So some hand protection up there, something on the hands would be well advisable.
Yep. Now I'm going the wrong way here. That's on the both Skyrun courses. It's absolutely amazing. There's some more of the conglomerate, and you will be getting your hands on it 100%. And we'll save this one. Let's look at the fly through, and of course, ping your questions in as we're going. Okay. Fly through. The first part, like the start, is the same as Little Owen. So it's a stacked loops course. So we split off at the end of where the Little Owen trail like turns around and then heads back down. That's where we step off the mountain bike trails and head straight up.
So if we just stop it there for a second, and we'll get to one of the questions we've got here. And I think it's going to be really important at this point. And the whole course, how do we mark it? How's it marked? How do we know where we're going?
How's the course marked? Yeah, the fly through is not working. The course will be marked with. There we go. It helps if we share that. The course will be marked with little pink flags on stakes, and also the Tassie Trail Runners Association reflective pink marker tags, red arrows on white background for every intersection, and lots of pink flags. So let's actually find that little video. Here it is. So this is an example of the Alpine in a little bit less visibility. Like this is not enough for, if it gets really, really bad, then of course we'll have to avoid the Alpine, and that's always possible in the mountains of Tassie, but this is what it looks like. Markers every 5 to 7 meters. What the Alpine is actually it is a bit of what the acid rain caused, but that's what we're looking at for an example of marking in the Alpine.
Nice. So the courses will all be marked and quite clearly. So make sure you look out for those. There's another question there about finish times. On the idea on finish times, first, mid-pack, and last.
Yep. Given
it's a new course, it's probably going to be a little bit hard to tell. If you do look at the view that's on here now, it does have the cut-off points on there. What do you think about the time to finish this?
If you're comfortable and confident moving efficiently through technical mountains, then the 25K could get done quite reasonably in 3 to 4 hours. If you're a reasonably fast sort of runner. If for slower runners who are quite competent and confident in the mountains, then 4 to 5 is not unreasonable at all. So this is for the Mount Owen 25K. For those who are okay at running but perhaps less confident in the mountains, still the sort of 4 to 5, maybe 6 hours. And then if you're on the slower end, anywhere up to the cutoffs are, 9 hours we have allocated for cutoff times to do the 25K. So, I'm not expecting anyone to be pushing cutoffs for the 25K. Different story for the Mount Lyell 50K. Anyway, between 3 and 6 hours for Mount Owen.
That's all. 3 and 6 hours of indeed, Mark Taggart there looking at more and more rocks.
Yeah. So let's just jump back on the fly through here. So from where are we? There. I'll just pause at the top of the mountain bike track. So that's basically there. Then that's here, and we're just about to jack up the hill. So And we have found an old bushwalking track that wasn't even on maps, but it was certainly cut, and we've reopened that for this ridge climb. So we call this Owens Ridge, and then as soon as you hit the rock, whoa, it's just like that section, it just flew through super quick. There is the most technical section of the course, pretty much. Some of the scrambling through this ridge line here, and some of it's quite nice. So we don't have any good videos right now, except for the one we just had of stepping across the boulders, of what that really looks like or feels like. Stepping across those boulders is pretty, it's pretty good. Well, you never know what it actually feels like until you're there. There's a couple other photos in there, but they've gone. I'll just mention this out and back here. So this out and back to point 1103, just here. It's an epic lookout viewpoint, and you get to see out to Frenchman's Cap on a clear day, and Lake Burberry and all this, and even down the ridge line there. It's absolutely epic. So there is a little selfie frame that you are required to snap a photo with to prove that you were there, and it's a pretty epic snap to share afterwards as well. Right, the video I did show of stepping across the boulders, that's right there on what is otherwise known as the Telstra or Telecom Tower before heading down. Now this saddle here and parts of the other bits of the Alpine is actually quite runnable. So this section with the course marking that we were just looking at was on that section, and oh yeah, there's some of the scrambling actually through that section. Come on, photos, get organized here. Right, let's play this one. Okay. Too much fun in that.
Yeah, so that's proper top of the mountain running.
Yep, and it's really runnable. Like it's very technical. It's off track, but it is beautiful soft gravel underfoot. You're just hopping over a few rocks and boulders, and so it's not all crazy scrambly stuff.
Yeah, nice.
It's in terms of distance, but the scrambly stuff feels a lot bigger than what it is because it takes up a lot more time per kilometre to do. Hopefully that answered the question. Was there another question?
No, I think that's it for the questions. We've got the fly through going now, and then we get across the top, and then it's just straight back down the hill, back into Queenstown, really.
Yeah, so we've got an aid station here, the first aid station right here, Mount Owen aid station, and then we jump onto one of the most gnarly mountain bike trails in Tasmania, Natural Selection. It's gnarly. It's so steep in parts and quite loose and rutted out in parts. So for those who like a downhill run, you're in for a treat. If you don't, you're in for a steep, loose bit of fun, basically. So that takes you all the way down to and the exposure and the feel of the mountain and looking down into the valley here is phenomenal. Here you hit the Horsetail Falls waterfall. So another very short out and back, which there'll be another selfie frame there. We're doing these little out and backs and the selfie frames as a way of connecting you with some of the really beautiful lookouts that are there. And some of them are very popular tourist spots, this Horsetail Falls, for example, and then you keep going on the Horsetail Falls track. Again, you bolt down this, watch out for the two-way traffic. Then we're actually on a little bit of road to get out to Iron Blow and back. So that is an amazing lookout into an old mine with,
Seen that one?
blue water down below. All the way back to Horsetail Falls and then back on mountain bike trails. Bit of downhill, couple of creeks to cross uphill and some zigzags to get you back up. So,
and of course, when you're out there, don't just stick to the selfie points for photos, because there is going to be some amazing footage taken out there. So make sure you are taking time to do that. Now, we've seen some different weather up on top. This can be pretty epic out there in the way of weather, can't it?
Yep. Well, here's. I
mean, it's not going to be, because we don't do events with bad, just in case.
Prepare for all weather, of course, us and you guys. And the mandatory gear is for the Alpine is absolutely no joke. And that's, where's the good one, Scotty? Yeah, there's, can get pretty fun up there. But yeah, that's the Mount Owen. Any questions on that one?
Questions? We've got a statement there from at Camrios. It's going to be epic.
Yeah.
Been chasing this kind of terrain since running the Ring of Steel in Scotland a few years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Well, hopefully this one lives up to the same caliber of that run as well.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't run the Ring of Steel, but that is part of the Skyline Scotland Festival, and Glencoe Skyline's part of it. So yeah, I've been out there, and to be honest, it was Glencoe Skyline and getting on the Matterhorn Ultrax Extreme course that was like, oh, it's the stuff I love. And it's like, well, can we do that in Tassie? Hell yeah, we can. It's just taken a fair bit to get going, and here we are.
Well, let's move on to the big one, Saturday's big event. This one is 50 kilometres, 3,000 kilometres of vert.
Yeah,
it's just, the numbers are absolutely insane. What can we expect this time? Obviously, we won't have to go up Mount Owen.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So that whole first bit is here. So looking at the elevation profile here, it's and yeah, not only do we do Mount Owen, but then head down some. The cross spur is this, sexy off-track bit of pure sky running sexiness, and then across around Mount Lyell. Oh, geez, we just got to do the fly through, don't we? On the Lyell Comstock rail formation. So this, of course, will start up. There we go. Yeah, same course to the top of Mount Owen. Then you hit the Mount Owen aid station. That'll be crewed by the West Coast Mountain Bike Club, hardy local folks who understand the mountain bike trails, and that's the start of natural selection mountain bike track, as I said. They might bring up a bike and ride back down, just on different parts of the course that we won't have runners on at the time. Actually, a note on that, we have a whole bunch of course marshal locations which are on the Mount Owen mountain bike network, so you can actually access with your bike. So the mountain bike network is closed for the day to public mountain bikers and the shuttles, except is open for access for our event staff and course marshals. So you can still actually get a ride in if you're that way inclined to get to and from your course marshal location. Just hang out and cheer some runners. So on the fly through here, we're heading off to North Owen, man, the exposure and epicness. So a bit of mountain bike trail here again. Looking out towards Eldon Bluff to Mount Lyell in the background there. It's just, the views are absolutely epic. This is where, this is Cross Spur here. So we've got a mountain bike trail down Long Spur here and another one down North Owen here. So you can see them very clearly from the highway in Linda. In between is this Cross Spur. So we're going straight down that one. And that's what's shown on the screen now, into the Chamouni or Chamonix Valley. Then cross the Linda Creek. Definitely do not drink that creek. It is mine affected. So, and you can tell it's a bit orange, and you don't want to drink that. Up the hill a little bit, and now we're onto this Lyell Comstock rail formation. This was such a treat it took 3 days of gnarly bush bashing to actually do the whole 11K of it, to see if it was actually all there enough to put the effort in. And it was effort. It was about 8 real solid weeks of a crew of 4 local blokes who we employed and trained to get out and carve it up.
So that's now all been cleared, ready for people to go out and enjoy.
Yep. And it circumnavigates almost the entire Lyell Mountain. So we're still on it right at the back here, and you can actually see the old Comstock, or North Lyell Comstock mine there. There is mining lease here, so we do not enter the mining lease in this region. And it's shown as kind of flat-ish on the elevation profile, and it kind of is, but it's also, pretty lumpy, pretty technical. Some of the culverts have been washed out, but there's some epic, what's it called, 120-year-old dry stack stone walls that are still there. It's just phenomenal. All right, it's a hard 11K. It looks flat, but it's you're paying for it. Bit of mud as well. Then straight up, an old exploration, a seismic line. So in geophysics exploration for mining and oil and gas, you carve directly straight lines to string out geophones to then, set off an explosive to cause a seismic refraction through the ground to reflect off the different geological features and reflect back to the geophones. So that's why there is this dead straight up the hill line that we actually go up here. So that is ridiculously steep, and then we just keep going up there. We're now, that part we just hit there is the what we're calling the mine lookout. It's another out and back with a selfie frame. From there, you're looking out at a completely unique angle to the Mount Lyell mining operation and some of the really historic parts of it. And it was like 4, 5, 6 ore bodies or separate mines way early on, and all sort of combined and whatever else. So again, another lookout. You'll see down onto the down on the slopes there a lot of King Billy skeletons, King Billy pine, and straight across the ridge line up the top there. There's a little bit of scrambling, not too much exposure, just a few bits. Yeah, there is a little bit here and there, but definitely bouldery. There's some steep bits coming off Mount Lyell itself, which is just there. Twist around the end of what we call East Lyell, tiny little out and back, and then start bombing down. This downhill is pretty steep, pretty loose, pretty bouldery, pretty slippery, pretty fun, especially with that amount of Ks in your legs. We've just popped over. So the Chamonix aid station, you hit twice, you get drop bags there, and then we go up through some community-built mountain bike trail called Mashed Kidneys, and again some old rail formation to the town of Gormanston. So through the town, then straight up this pretty steep hill and back onto some mountain bike trails, and then follow the 25K course we've already discussed all the way home.
Just like that.
Just like that. It's only 52K, 3,200 meters of elevation. Your watch is guaranteed to say more like 56, 58K and 4,000 elevation. And different watches or different phones will give you different answers as well. So that's what this maps to, and we've mapped it, pretty accurately, of course, but your phone wiggles around a bit and all that sort of stuff. So we're going to have those 5, 2 and 1 kilometers to get to most aid stations and definitely home to the hub.
Now, speaking of maps,
yeah,
I presume our runners have to have them downloaded, ready to go.
Yep. So haven't been released yet, but Avenza maps that work offline. So phone reception is reasonable. The mobile data in Queenstown is rubbish. The phone reception to make calls is reasonable on the whole course, except for over the back in the Comstock Valley. So that's a dead dark zone. But otherwise, the rest of the course. And so we'll have medics up on the top of Mount Owen, and also our sweeps, of course, coming around behind. So we'll pick anyone up. It's the markings will be super clear, but you still have to keep an eye out for them. If your head's completely down. Just wanted to have a note on cutoff times for the 50K. They are tight. They will be tight. There could well be some people cut off. Sorry, not sorry for that. It definitely is for your safety and safety of our team. In future years, we may relax it, but definitely we know that this is not suitable for slower runners who are not comfortable in the mountains. This is really only suitable for people who are quite comfortable moving efficiently and safely and competently in the mountains. Sorry, not sorry for that. You can jump down to the 25K, much more suitable, much more achievable if you don't have too much experience in the mountains. But 100%, there is risk here, and the warnings are real. And we're going to put some signs out that say, okay, it's about to get real coming up, and you can actually, if once it gets real and it's like, right, no, actually this isn't for me, as it turns out, that's fine. You can actually turn around and then follow the Little Owen Trail back home,
which is what we want everyone home safely.
Exactly, and you still get an epic experience. So of course it's a DNF for the 25K. But hey, you've still had an epic experience and still get to come home safely.
Beautiful. Wow, Saturday's a massive day.
Oh, man. So 12 hours is cutoffs for the Mount Lyell Skyrun 50K. So we'll be fully activating the finish line right up until 6:30. At that point, we do have to just cut straight across to the Paragon for...
Oh, we're not going home to bed.
No way.
What's happening Saturday night?
Well, that's fun. So
sharing it this time, I've noticed.
Sharing the actual festival booklet this time. So that's the Friday stuff, the pasta dinner, opening ceremony, screen printing only on the Friday afternoon with Arc'teryx. Ridges Railways running tails and trails. Friday again. So looking at the Saturday, pop-up shop upcycling workshops for your crew who aren't running, rebird repairs, all sorts of cool stuff that Arc'teryx is doing there. A lovely partner gallery of ours, Soggy Brolly's doing a Ridgeline exhibition there. That's happening at those times advertised. We've got the maps exhibition in the Paragon, so whenever the Paragon's open, that's there, curated by Lucy Hawthorne of Mineral Resources Tas. She's also an artist and a trail runner. She'll be out sweeping one of the courses, and there'll be a cool little thing that you'll get with your bib that's a bit of a provocation to how has society connected with these mountains. Saturday films, again, for people who have finished running early or support crew. And nature walks. Yeah. Arc'teryx is supporting some nature walks again for support crew or family. Okay, we're on to after the running's done on Saturday, so 6:45 we're planning to start the presentations for the 3 events that day, and then an Arc'teryx athlete panel discussion at the Paragon, 7 o'clock there, and then straight into an after party. We're turning the Paragon into a band hall, a theatre. Well, it is a theatre, nice. And they do regularly have live music in there, so they're well set up for it. I mean, I had a bit too much fun at the Unconformity there. Anyway, so yes, we've got some pretty cool, bands or artists that Arc'teryx is supporting there.
Wow, so all going on Saturday night. Back in town, Party Central in Queenstown.
Party on till 10:30 p.m. That's all. I hope I make it that long. I mean, we've got some runs to do the next day, so
yeah, that's probably the next spot we go to. Like, let's not stop the runs there. Of course, on Sunday we open it all back up again. The shorter events, there's 3 events on for the Sunday racing, and these are pretty cool because we get to go out on the airfield. Yeah. So what have we got? Will we start with the airfield 10?
Yeah, so now we're out onto the other side of the, Saturday was all about the Mount Owen side of town. It is a mountain overlooking the town, watching protectively over the town, not unlike the mountain here in Hobart. And then there's these, call them steep hills. I don't know, the word ramparts just came to my mind there. You know, you look either way from town and there's stuff going on. There's mountains, there's ridges. And this side is, there's an airfield on it. So we talked about it from that you could see it from Mount Owen, and how epic would it be to run on it. There's a film clip that I saw many years ago of the artist playing on it. And I'm like, whoa, where is that? That mountain looks epic. Wouldn't it be epic to... It's this. So here we are 5 years later actually doing it. That's pretty cool. Let's just jump into the fly through. See what it shows. So again, from the middle of town, got some cool little things in town, but of course some residential streets, and some of those are pretty cool, pretty interesting to check out. And then we're straight into what's called the Raggedy Creek, old brickworks up there. Bit of a steep climb then to get up onto the Howards Plains. The Mount Lyell Mine has been supportive to allow us to cross their
share that one.
Good work.
I take it back to the start too.
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks, Brave Frog, looking after us with the technical difficulties that our man Link
pressing the buttons
sometimes has.
So I mean, you can see those, the hills just woof straight out of the edge of town, and heavens the town in as well. Like, you can't expand any further up those hills reasonably, and you can see the airfield there as well. So. Through some of those towns up Preston Street, and then jumping on. We actually built a bridge right there, actually. So nice new little 5 metre, duckboard bridge. Up the top here, we cross a road, and there is some really old. Actually, for part of it, we're on the very first road connecting Queenstown to Strahan. So there's this one little section of cordwood, it's called, where you lay old logs horizontally across the road, like side by side. They use this construction technique a lot in building old boardwalk for walking trails, cordwood. But it's made out of King Billy pine, apparently. So anyway, crossing the tailings pipeline, as he said, thanks for CMT's support on that. Then we actually get on to the airfield itself. So the last frame of the 30-second promo vid that we've got shows the airfield that we're running on and the epic view out to Mount Owen. So that's what we're doing. So the 10K runs the whole length of the airfield up and back. You can see that view there. Like, look at that. And then bombing down what's called the goat track. Now, the footy club used to train on that 10, 15, 20 years ago. And we've reopened it. So hopefully they're now training on it again. I have been talking to them about that. But, yeah, that's the 10K. So some beautiful, flat-ish, very runnable. It's still technical up there. And you can fly on the actual airfield, of course. You get to choose whether you run on the tarmac or just off in the gravel. That's fine. That's up to you. But what a way to finish off a 3-day running festival.
Yeah, and if you wake up a little bit sore, 10K is not quite for me. Jump on 5.
Just jump down to 5.
Yeah.
I'm sure, the timing people don't like it too well, and fair enough. But, hey, maybe we just get the marker out and, put a big stroke through the 10 and write 5 and off you go.
But you might make that decision early. You might already. Yeah, I've already gone. This is for me. Yeah. So the airfield 5, very similar to the 10?
It is, yep. Same course, but it's part of the same course, but it's basically straight up the goat track to the airfield and back down. So, it's half the length. Still get most of the cool stuff. I mean, you still get the steep up and down, and still get on that airfield. And actually the top there, it still gets the feel of that Howard's Plains. You just miss some of that other, raggedy type stuff. So there, and then every run finishes, you see this funny, dog leg here. Every run finishes going over the miners' siding. So it's another, tourism landmark sort of thing of an old underground mining drill that is housed in a bit of an enclosure. And anyway, you get to run over it. So
it's pretty epic. There it is, DIVERGE Skyruns 2026. I think if you haven't guessed by now, for that sort of side of the running, this man's pretty excited about bringing it. But of course, there is the next generation of running. And this is what we have a lot of fun with at all the events the kids runs. And we're bringing it to the Skyrun as well. So if you've got the kids up there for the weekend, on Sunday, a nice time for them of 11:15, they can get out on a course as well.
Yeah. This is an 800-metre course, 3 metres of elevation.
I mean, it's my kind of run.
There might be a touch more than that, actually, unfortunately. As that's, we only go up and over the miners' siding once. Yeah, so there we go. You still get a lot of the feel, the kids get to feel starting and finishing at the hub, and what that feels like, medal across the line and all that sort of stuff. We will, depending on numbers, we might have some waves for this. So we'll see, but otherwise, everything else, there's no waves. It's all just the advertised start times.
Go on, do the fly through.
Oh, yeah.
We'll show the kids the fly through.
Yeah. Yeah, they deserve it. No, just. Strava, come on.
So there is the kids run. It's an important part of what we do at all the events. It's going to be a big part of the DIVERGE Skyruns as well. So a couple of questions from me, Lincoln. If you've got any more questions there on the feed, chuck them up and we will answer them for you now. Obviously, we've made a big thing about this being outside the comfort zone and the safety aspect of it. Mandatory gear. Random checks, got to take it, must have it, yeah?
Yeah, so mandatory gear can be checked beforehand at Find Your Feet, Hobart, Launceston, Arc'teryx in Hobart, Sydney, Melbourne, Canberra, and Tribe and Trail in Tribe and Trail in Perth, try again. And definitely better to get your checks sorted before you go. Here's the list available on our website. It's got some good info here on when and what. We will make the call on adverse weather gear required by 7 p.m. the night before. So you have to have all the adverse weather gear checked and brought. We will have gear checks on the night, of course, but if you don't have something, it makes it a bit hard to sort it out. Beg, borrow, steal, we won't really have any. So, the onus is on you to bring it on.
Oh, and there's a bit of a call out because we do these events and we always get someone going, oh, I've forgotten this, oh, I've forgotten that. If you've got any spare stuff and you feel like bringing it along, you're probably guaranteed to make a runner's day because they've forgotten something and then you can help them out. Seam seal jackets are always a big one that people seem to forget. So there's a little call out from me. If you've got anything spare, bring it along. You may make a runner's weekend.
Absolutely. Hey, we've got some merch as well.
Hey, look out.
Yep. Couple of cool, we've got more than that. It's just about to be released.
And did I see the screen printing? You can get at the event screen printing done.
Yep. So you can, whether you've pre-purchased or purchased one of these really cool tees or crew sweats at the hub, you can get it screen printed then and there. And you can also BYO a shirt and get that screen printed. And donate, I think there's a percentage of the sales of that goes towards the trail remake the way, the trail work. So we didn't receive funding for the trail work, and we still have an open fundraiser for that.
Now, speaking of merch, Mark Taggart, he wants some stubby holders.
Oh, well, that's a good idea. Probably 2027, sorry, but you might have to come back.
Yeah, you might have to come back for that one, Mark. But yeah, it's there will be some merch that's going to be launched in the next couple of days. Make sure you get on the site and grab that to show off that you've been part of Diverge, year one.
Yeah, we've also had a couple of other major corporate sponsors just come on board for the trail works. That's really amazing. So that doubles what we've got raised there, but we still need to raise another. So if we have double that, another 50 grand to actually pay for it all, and that just went directly to employ locals to get the work done and the tools and safety and all that stuff to make it happen. Right, we could talk forever.
We could. If you've ever done an event with Lincoln and I, you know that we could be hit on midnight if we keep this going. But yeah, you want to talk about the kids drop off?
Oh, go on, yeah. Red Parker just came on board recently for similar to what we do at QnA. So that both parents can run. You can drop your kids off kids between 5 and 12, and it's only for these for the hours suitable for the Mount Owen. If you're coming back within the that's still just within cutoff. Yep. Mount Owen within cutoff, and definitely Little Owen. That's suitable for you to, but you have to book. So it's on the website. Check that out.
Make sure you jump on that one, guys. And yes, Mark, we will see you in 27, and we'll have at least one stubby holder for you. As I said, Lincoln and I could talk about this stuff all night, but we are going to wrap it up there. Thanks for joining us as we've gone through a little bit about what Skyrun with Diverge is going to be. We are very, very excited to get up there and get amongst it and see all you wonderful trail runners get out there and try something new. This is, it's outside our comfort zone as well. Don't you worry about that. It's going to be an absolute blast. We are, of course, May 1 to 3, 2026. There are still time to get some entries in. And if you can see what's coming up there, you can see the footage of the airfield. Lincoln, last words. What are you most looking forward to?
Oh, just seeing, because obviously I've been deep in the course and the epicness of it, and I know from the experience at QnA where I've really toned down the epicness, the gnarliness in QnA, and yet we still get so many comments of just how gnarly and brutal it is. And so, this is next level on that in parts, and like just the big wild feeling of these mountains is whoa. So really looking forward to seeing how people connect with that, like just connect with that wildness of the mountain. That's what I'm really looking forward to, is hearing people's stories, their connection there, how outside their comfort zone they have gone. And also looking forward to feedback that the safety things we put in place have worked, and any suggestions for improvement, because we're on a continual improvement policy and on all regards. And I just want to share this epic place. Should we just try again with the video to close it out?
Let's close it out. We'll see if this works. If not, it'll probably just go to a black screen. But that is Diverge Skyruns 2026. Your Run Director, the man himself, a small part of the team that's put this together for you, Lincoln Quilliam. I'm Mainy Taz_MC. I look forward to having you all come across the finish line in a little over 3 weeks, having had just the most amazing time in the most amazing scenery. Let's see if it works.
And that will just go shoom, mic drop after that.
Yeah, absolutely.
You.
Wow.
Right on the now.
Boom.